Welcome back. Here in the U.S., there are millions of grandparents raising their grandchildren. It's a concept called grand families, but for some, this way of life can come with financial challenges. But the Detroit-based organization, The Grand Life, is here to help. And joining us today, we have the founder, Craig Nash. Thanks so much for being on with us this afternoon.
Well, thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. So before we talk about The Grand Life, how were you inspired to do this? This story is a little bit personal to you.
It's very personal, and up until 2.5 years ago, my wife and I were just grandparents, and we had just a wonderful granddaughter that we just spoiled at every opportunity we had. But at that time, my daughter, who was living with us, and our granddaughter's mother, left our house and moved out to living on the streets of Detroit, east side, near the 7 Mile Gratiot area. And she's been gone for 2.5 years. And then, so we said we would do what any other grandparents would do, and we went through the process of becoming her guardian. And I could sit home and feel sorry for myself, or I could do something positive about it. So I started a podcast called It's a Grand Life, which is designed to provide awareness for grandparents who are raising their grandkids, and provide subject matter experts to help them in this task of, raising their grandkids second time around, for all of us. But it's nothing that we all counted on, but everyone I interview that's in this spot, they wouldn't shrink back for anything. They want to make an impact on of course, their grandkids.
What an incredible resource for others experiencing similar situations. The Grand Fund also recently launched. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I started doing these interviews of these outstanding, other-centered grandparents. They're just all focused on how do we make life better for our grandkids or our relatives that in this unique situation. And about 20 to 50%, depending on what state you're in, of grandparents raising grandkids are in abject poverty. And I said, we've got to do something to help these grandparents that didn't count on raising 1 to 3 additional kids. They thought their child-rearing days were over. So we started the Grand Fund. And actually, last month was our first month in active support of grand families. We identified 5 families in Michigan that we helped, and some with uniforms for school. And we had one lady who we did some assessment of her car to try and fix it. And we have some partners in the Traverse City area where we actually put a new door on a mobile home where it was just not working well at all. But we want to be a resource to bless these folks that are doing so much for their grandkids.
That is so beautiful. I so appreciate you saying that. Oftentimes, you didn't have it in the budget to raise another 1, 2, 3 children. You're supposed to go off into retirement and do your fishing and your traveling and be selfish, finally. For those who want to help, but this is tugging at their heartstrings, is there a way they can give money? Is there a way they can give their time?
Yes, they can go to itsagrandlife.com, and that's our website, and we've got our information there as far as about the podcast, as well as donating to our new fund. And we're very excited to help as many folks as we can, and that's the fun part about what we're doing. It takes our eyes off our situation. If we can help others, it's such a blessing.
Who did you recently present a check to?
To the folks out at Oakland Livingston Human Services Agency. They do a fantastic job of supporting the grand families in Oakland, Livingston, and Macomb counties. Lisa Grodsky out there is absolutely awesome. And she helped us identify a grandma whose car was not working, and we did everything we could to get that up and running. And she just is going to be a partner with us for a long period to come, because they really specialize in helping grand families, and that's who we want to work with.
And last but certainly not least, if you are a grandparent out there and you need help, where should they go?
Well, they could reach out to us, or they could reach out to the neighborhood service agencies like OLSA. They do a phenomenal job, Oakland Livingston Human Services Agency. Or they could reach out to us at itsagrandlife.com, and we could get them connected with the right organization.
Craig Nash, your passion is palpable, and I just so admire you turning this into such a positive, not only for your family, but for others as well. A big commitment. Thank you for being on with us.
Thank you for your time today.